Two cars break down on the exact same morning, in completely different parts of the exact same city. One driver stands on the side of the road, genuinely panicking, honestly. No spare cash sitting available anywhere. No backup way to actually get to work that specific day. No idea who to even reasonably call for real help right now. The other driver calmly pulls out a card for a service they've already paid for, months earlier, specifically for exact moments like this one. A ride gets quietly arranged within minutes. Work gets notified calmly, with time to spare comfortably. Same exact disaster. Wildly different morning unfolding from it. Most people genuinely believe chaos simply happens to them randomly, completely without warning, purely through terrible luck striking unexpectedly. Sometimes, honestly, that's genuinely true, without question. But far more often than most people ever actually realize clearly, what feels like sudden chaos is actually the entirely predictable result of gaps left wide open somewhere beforehand. No backup plan sitting ready. No buffer genuinely built in advance. No system actually in place to catch the small problem before it quietly became a much bigger one later. Chaos, in almost every single case worth actually examining closely, genuinely preys on gaps left completely undefended somewhere in a person's life. The missing emergency fund. The appointment nobody actually wrote down anywhere reliable. The single backup plan that simply never actually got made in the first place, despite good intentions. These gaps sit there quietly, patiently, completely unnoticed, until the exact moment something genuinely goes wrong. Then chaos rushes directly through that specific opening, almost instantly, like water finding the lowest possible point available. Organized people don't actually experience dramatically less bad luck than everyone else around them, statistically speaking, if you look at the actual numbers honestly. Things still genuinely break for them too, exactly like they do for anyone else living a normal life. Cars still fail unexpectedly. Plans still fall through occasionally, without much real warning given beforehand. The real difference isn't the actual frequency of these things happening at all. It's whether there's already a specific system quietly waiting there to actually catch it, the moment it happens. Think of someone whose entire life runs completely reactively, jumping directly from one small emergency straight into the next one without any real pause between them. A missed payment quietly triggers a genuine late fee. That specific fee quietly triggers real financial stress a few weeks later. That stress quietly leads directly to a missed appointment somewhere else entirely, unrelated on the surface. None of these things are technically connected to each other on paper, at least not obviously so. But underneath the surface, they're actually the exact same root problem, repeating itself constantly. No system. No buffer. No actual plan sitting there quietly in place beforehand. Now think of someone else entirely, facing genuinely similar random disruptions throughout their own regular life, honestly. A missed payment gets caught almost immediately, because a simple system automatically flags it right away without fail. A sudden expense gets absorbed calmly and easily, because a real buffer was already sitting there quietly waiting for exactly this moment. A cancelled plan barely even registers as a genuine problem at all, because a backup option was already quietly considered well beforehand, just in case. Same unpredictable world around them. Completely different actual experience living inside it every single day. There's real, established engineering science behind exactly why this specific principle works so reliably, across countless different systems studied over many decades. Reliability engineers who study why complex machines fail catastrophically consistently find the exact same clear pattern, again and again. Small, unaddressed issues rarely just stay small on their own accord. Left completely unattended, they quietly compound directly into much larger failures over time, often at the absolute worst possible moment imaginable. Regular, planned maintenance isn't actually about fixing things that are already broken beyond repair. It's about catching small problems early, deliberately, long before they ever get the genuine chance to cascade into something considerably worse. Your actual life works exactly the same fundamental way, in nearly every meaningful sense that matters here. A finances check once a month catches small problems while they're still genuinely small and manageable. A calendar reviewed weekly catches conflicts well before they actually collide with each other unexpectedly. A car serviced regularly catches worn parts long before they actually fail you completely, usually at the worst time. None of this actually prevents every single bad thing from ever happening to you at all. It simply catches most of them early, quietly, while they're still genuinely small and manageable enough to handle calmly. This is precisely why genuinely organized people can start feeling almost mysteriously lucky to everyone else watching from the outside, over enough time passing. Their car never seems to break down at the worst possible moment. Their finances never seem to spiral out of control unexpectedly. Their schedule never seems to genuinely collapse into complete chaos, the way everyone else's regularly does around them. It's honestly not luck at all, in any real sense of that word. It's simply hundreds of small, quiet gaps that were actually closed well in advance, long before chaos ever got the real chance to exploit even one of them directly. So how do you actually start building this specific kind of organization yourself, starting today, in your own life? You begin by honestly identifying the biggest, most obvious gap currently sitting open somewhere in your actual life right now. No emergency fund genuinely available if something unexpected happens tomorrow. No backup plan sitting ready if your primary income source suddenly disappears without warning. No actual system in place to catch bills or appointments before they're genuinely missed completely. Name that specific gap clearly and honestly first, before actually attempting to close it properly. Build one small buffer deliberately, even if it genuinely starts out remarkably tiny at first, honestly. A little bit of money set quietly aside specifically for real emergencies, however small that specific amount might be initially. A little bit of extra time built directly into your schedule, so one single delay doesn't automatically cascade into ruining the rest of your entire day completely. A backup plan considered calmly in advance, before you actually genuinely need it in a real crisis moment. Schedule regular, genuine check-ins with your own actual systems, exactly the way you'd schedule regular maintenance for any valuable machine you actually own and rely on. A monthly look at your finances, honestly. A weekly look at your actual calendar and upcoming commitments. A seasonal check on the things that genuinely tend to quietly break down when left completely unattended for too long. These small check-ins catch tiny problems early, consistently, while they're still genuinely small enough to fix calmly and easily. Write down every single system you actually depend on regularly, and honestly ask yourself one direct, simple question about each one specifically. What genuinely happens if this particular thing suddenly fails completely, without any real warning given beforehand? If the honest answer is genuine chaos, that's precisely your next real gap needing to actually be closed properly. This isn't about obsessively preparing for every single possible disaster imaginable, to be clear about the actual goal here. It's about closing the most obvious, most likely gaps first, deliberately and calmly. Expect this specific process to genuinely take real time, honestly, not happen instantly or all at once in a single dramatic weekend. You're not fixing your entire life completely in one single afternoon, realistically speaking. You're simply closing one gap at a time, consistently, week after week, deliberately and steadily. Each one closed makes the next genuine disruption considerably less catastrophic than it would have otherwise been, without that specific preparation quietly sitting there already in place. Over time, something genuinely important shifts inside your actual life, quietly and steadily, the more you actually close these small gaps consistently. Things that used to genuinely spiral into complete chaos now barely even register as real problems anymore, if at all. A missed payment gets caught immediately by a simple system already in place. A sudden expense gets absorbed calmly by a buffer that's already sitting there quietly waiting for exactly this moment. You haven't actually eliminated bad luck completely from your life, and that was genuinely never the real goal here to begin with. You've simply closed the gaps chaos would have otherwise used against you directly. So start today, honestly, by naming the single biggest gap currently sitting wide open somewhere in your own actual life right now. Then close it, deliberately and calmly, one small system at a time, consistently, without rushing the entire process unnecessarily. Get so organized, quietly and steadily, that chaos genuinely starts avoiding you completely, simply because there's nothing left open for it to actually exploit directly. That's not luck in any real sense of that word. That's simply real, quiet preparation, held calmly and confidently, one closed gap at a time.